Okay.
You didn't get food today, did you? For the dog.
Oh, no,
Okay, I'm probably gonna stop and get you some on the way back.
All right,
Anything else?
No, babe, thank you. Both of these have got to be changed. We're going to rotate them and see how they look. You can rotate these teeth twice, I believe. Both of these have got to be rotated. This one is actually chipped. This is my first chipped tooth. So we're going to change that one out completely. You know what? We're probably going to change all these. We got a fresh set of teeth. We're probably going to change all these. Alright, so when you replace these are going to come with these little collars right here. Pretty sure that's what these are called. Yeah, it's not focusing. Anyway, it's going to come with these little collars, and that bevel part that goes down. Alright, so we finally got all the teeth out. I don't know how well y'all be able to see it since this is in the shadows or whatever. But the pockets themselves look good. Bandit will probably have like an hour. Maybe. Might have an hour meter. Or they're supposed to change these out. But they're not at it yet. And if y'all hear my kids screaming in the background after I've already told them to stop, I apologize. They're having a fun time with the watering hose here. Alright, so we've got all the teeth out. So I'm just going to show y'all what new teeth look like versus old teeth. And I want to show you what really beat up teeth look like versus not so bad teeth. So these teeth can be rotated twice, alright? And I want to show you, let me figure out which ones I want to show you here. Where'd my new teeth go? So this is what a new tooth looks like. Is that focusing? Is it focusing? Y'all tell me, is it focusing? I don't think I can get it to focus. So this is what a new tooth looks like. You see how it's bowled out? So it's not really even a sharp edge. It's just bowled out like that. And that's what chews these trees up. So it's going to go in the pocket like that. And can you see this lip right here? So that lip rests against another lip right here on the pocket. So this is what is going to engage the stump, just this side. Alright? And it's going to look like this. Okay? It's going to look like this after it's worn down. Look at the reverse side that hasn't really touched anything. See how much metal or tooth is left in that? You see, the more I rotate it this way, the more that's gone. This is a tooth that had to be rotated. Since this is pretty much going to be my last stump job, I'm just putting my new teeth on here now. That way when I get done with this, they're going to have like 2 hours of runtime on them, and the buyer's going to have practically a new set of teeth. So we got this right here. It's a brand new edge, and when it gets worn down like it is on this one, you would take it down, you would rotate it like that. So on a used tooth, so that's the side that's hitting the stump, right? You pull it down, rotate it, and now you got more to go. So you can rotate these twice. So that's what a used tooth looks like that has some life left in it. If I turned it over, this is what it looks like when you let one go too long without rotating it. And I hate that I even let it get this far. And it was kind of a gamble I was taking, because I was in a bunch of rocks the last several jobs I've been doing. I've just been in a ton of rocks. There's been some, I don't even know what, foreign metal material in the trees that I found in the stumps I've been grinding. I mean, you're going to find stuff at the base of trees, so just go ahead and, when you get your first stump grinder, order you a new set of teeth. I mean, you're going to have to do it. So go ahead and do it so you can change these out. So this one is would still actually be good. So that's the side where it's been grinding on, right? So I would pull this down, rotate it until it locks in, and then you can't see it because of all the dirt, but you got a good bit of actual tooth material left. Let me show you. So you see how much material there is on that. So, but anyway, we've got them all knocked out, and we're gonna be putting our new teeth on there. Like I said, they come with when you order new ones, they're gonna come with new bolts. They're gonna come with new collars. I think that's what these are called, or collars. If I can get one out of the bag here. So I'm gonna bring the wheel down. So your tooth is gonna come up from the bottom. It's gonna lock your collar, bevel in, goes down like that, and then you just torque your nut on there. And there is a specific poundage that you're supposed to torque these to, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. But anyway, we're going to get all these mounted up. We're going to get this grinder strapped down, and we are going to head to our last job. I got to do 13 of them.
13?
Yep.
What time do you think you'll be back?
About 7. Why?
Because I was wondering on the way back, after you get done with all those stumps, if you could stop by and give me a Totino's pizza.
A Totino's pizza? It's going to be like 7 o'clock before I get back.
That's fine, I can wait. I'll just eat other things till 7.
Well, I'm not going to go by the store, baby, because I want to have this. Mom will do a grocery pickup, though, probably. All right, love you. All right, we got all these on. Got them torqued down. So we are going to be cutting good. So one of the best things that you can do for this little machine, because this is it's a 40 horsepower machine. It's not the biggest, it's definitely not the smallest, but it's definitely not the biggest. And if you get a big stump, a big hardwood stump, and you're using dull teeth, you're gonna be there for a minute. So a good trick to keep up that productivity is to have fresh teeth on there. Y'all know a good wife is someone that'll bring you, I think this is a strawberry limeade freezer or whatever from Sonic. Got a bunch of ice in it. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's good. It's hot today. That is good. Alright, so we're gonna get this thing bolted up now and get all of our old pocket bolts and stuff. What was it? Wrap, bubble wrap. We're gonna get all of our pocket bolts and everything put up in the box here. Trash picked up we're gonna get this thing chained down, and we're gonna hit the road, Jack. Hit the road. So this morning we sold the tractor. Got that going. Wednesday I'm going to be dropping off the dump trailer to the buyer. So dump trailer's gone, tractor's gone. Somebody was supposed to come this morning to test this thing out, and they didn't make it, and they asked to reschedule. So got somebody coming to look at this, but in the meantime we're gonna keep making money with it, because this is a little money maker machine. Alright, we're gonna get this thing bolted down and we'll hit the road.
The light is fading fast. From this old town we gotta go. Our bags are packed, so what we waiting for? There's no point in delaying what we both already know. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me. We could rent a room and watch the stars dance round the moon. Fall asleep to the sounds of the sea. With you right by my side, it's such a sweet life. Escape this time with me. 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 Escape this time with me.
Alright guys, we're on the road to our last stump job. This is the last one that I had on the books. I'm not advertising anymore. Haven't been for several weeks. If there's another one that pops up, it's gonna have to be really quick, a small job, and it's gonna have to be just by word of mouth. And it's gonna, if I still have the grinder, I'm hoping I won't have the grinder. I had somebody that was supposed to come look at it today, and something messed up last minute on their end, and they couldn't make it, but they're still supposed to come look at it on another date. We got the tractor sold today. Next week I am dropping off the dump trailer, so we're getting everything out of here, and yeah, clearing our schedule. But I wasn't even gonna make a video today on the stump grinder. Didn't make a video for the it. This is the wrap, and there's a coyote right in front of us, crossing the highway here. It's never when it's convenient. But in this video, what I wanted to get strawberry slushy of some sort. What the point that I wanted to make in this video is, I guess, a combination of my dump trailer video and my stump grinding videos, just like the ultimate side hustle. And I have really found that running a dump trailer, you can do it to rent, you can do it to haul stuff, material, but a combination of all that and a stump grinder, it's just a great combination to make some really good money on the side, and very scalable. You know, if you've got the time and energy and you want to put in the effort, it's very scalable. The great thing about the stump grinder and the dump trailer both is you can buy a size that fits your budget starting out. Now, dump trailer, you may not be able to get a dump trailer, but you can get some type of trailer that you can start renting out. A utility trailer, you can start trash haulaways. There's some combination of a trailer that you can get for some service to offer. Stump grinding. I have a 40 horsepower machine. This is the Bandit SG40. I've got several videos on it already. You're going to see more footage of it today, Lord willing. It's small for the industry. It's a 40 horsepower machine. They do make smaller ones, but you can get handheld units, or I shouldn't say handheld, but it's like on just two back wheels. I mean, you have to push it everywhere, right? That would be substantially cheaper than a Bandit SG40 or something similar. I've never been down this road, so I'm trying to talk and look and everything and drive at the same time. This is normally where my wife would fuss at me and be like, "You're gonna wreck us just by looking at cows and looking at people's yards and stuff." And I can't help it. You know, I admire a good fence, a nice pond. Can't help it. But let's start with the stump grinder. Let's say you want to get into stump grinding. What kind of money can you look at making? Okay, so theoretically, a small stump grinder can grind a giant tree. Let's get my camera going back here so I can see. A small stump grinder can grind a giant tree. The thing is how much time it takes and how many sets of teeth you're going to go through. It can do it, but it's just not efficient. I'm watching my GPS here. But let's look at the last so what was the fourth job that I had? Let's just keep it simple. The last job I did and this job I'm going to do. The last job I did was 9 stumps, small to medium size. Well, no, they were all small. Yeah, they were all super small. So 9 stumps. Took me 30 minutes with my machine, and I made $450. 30 minutes, $450. The job I'm doing today, I've only seen pictures video of these, which is kind of, I don't suggest you do that unless you trust the person or they can get you some really good pictures and videos, and that you want to make sure the size, because the size in video can be different once you go and look at it, so you can kind of get yourself screwed up. But these stumps over here are going to be on the medium up scale. Not huge, not big, just medium and up. And I'm doing 13 of them. And I'm charging $1,025. And I tried to do it, the small stumps I was doing at $75 a piece, and the medium sized stumps I was doing for either, I think it was like $150, but all together 13 stumps, $1,025. If you do the math, it ends up being around $70 a piece for these stumps. And based on what I've seen, I'm only expecting it to take me a couple of hours to do this. And it's going to be $1,000. So even if you don't buy my machine, or if you don't get a machine my size, look at renting a machine. I know Home Depot, they do a bunch of rentals where you can rent, you know, let me see where my turn is. Rent a machine for a day. That's one option. You can have your LLC, but you just rent the machine. You know, I know several big companies that started out that way. One in particular, a friend of mine who started his excavation business by renting the machine until he had a customer base and enough money coming in that he was able to buy him a machine. So that's one option. You could go buy a smaller machine, one of the really small units that I was talking about. And I just missed my turn. Let's see, we can turn around in this church parking lot. I don't want to be one of those people, but I am. So let's say that you go and buy a small grinder, okay? It's going to take me a couple of hours to do this. Let's say that it took you all Saturday, a whole day, to come and do this. 7 hours, 8 hours, okay? That's still $1,000 in one day. To me, that's pretty good. So that's two different options you have. You can either rent the machine from a place like Home Depot or Russell Do-It Center. I don't think Lowe's rents out machines. You can actually go to an equipment rental place that I've seen those, and they'll have small stump grinders available. Or you can just get a really small unit, but it's just going to take you longer to do it. So that's a couple of ideas I wanted to throw at y'all for the stump grinding, just to get y'all on a machine. Trailers, renting trailers. People rent trailers all the time. That's something you got to remember that I've said in other videos. People are already paying for these services, right? People that you know are already paying. Somebody that you know has had to have a trailer. They may either went and bought one themselves, borrowed one from a friend, or they've rented one. Somebody that you know has had to have a trailer, and they've used a trailer. People are paying money for that service. Customers are there. You just got to let them know. You just got to get your name out there. So you can start with a small utility trailer. Ain't got to be new. Can be used. Get a used unit. Start doing trash haul away. You know, junk removal, garage clean outs. Just rent the trailer out by itself. Maybe they want to go to a four-wheeler park mudding thing, whatever they call those things, those kind of parks where you can go and do mud riding and stuff. Maybe they want to do that, and they just need a little trailer to get their four-wheelers there. You know, that's something that you can do. But some kind of combination of trailers and stump grinders, guys, I have found to be very profitable. Like I said, it may take you longer with the small stuff, but $1,000 in one day or $450 in 30 minutes ain't bad. It ain't bad. Alright, I'm gonna get off here. I'll pick y'all up when I get to my customer's house and we start grinding these stumps, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, that's a wrap. 13 stumps. Customer said that he was very pleased. So we're gonna get the Bandit SG40 loaded back up on the trailer. That was it. It was the last stump job for Yellowhammer Services. Seeing if I got bit by a mosquito. It feels like I did. Last stump job. So the ending of a error, very short error. It's been fun though. It's been fun. It was less than 2 years we've been in business, and things got slow this past winter, but that was mainly because the machine was down. So we weren't advertising or anything for that. But besides that, and last fall, I mean, we've done pretty good. I mean, y'all have seen my posts on Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, you've seen my videos on YouTube. I mean, we've been busy the last couple months. Ever since we got the grinder running again, we've been busy. So we're thankful for the business. We appreciate our friends and family and customers, repeat customers that have supported us all along the way. So it's been awesome. But last one, that ended up taking us about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, something like that. $1,000, guys. A little over $1,000. Made in what I would say is a pretty good time frame. Let's see here. Trying to think of what we hit on driving up, and if I missed anything. If y'all have questions, reach out to me. If you're following me on Facebook, reach out to me. Instagram, reach out to me. I'm pretty open about this stuff. I want to encourage people. If you're wanting to start your own business, I mean, you should try. I mean, I'm getting these prices in a market that already has well-established names. Okay, my grinder is limited on what it can do efficiently. I limit it more. I've told y'all before, I don't like doing the big stuff. You can, if you're willing to sit there. There's plenty of guys in the groups that I see that do it. If you look at the stump grinding groups, they're out there doing it with the SG40s. But why would you? You know, if you've got one really big stump and you're going to charge $600, $500 for a really big stump, and it's going to take you 6 hours to do it, even 4 hours to do it, why would you do that versus just targeting the small stumps? 13 stumps, a little over $70 a piece, hour and a half. And that's where this machine shines. So let's jump back to what I'd said earlier about how stump grinding is scalable. Get you one of the smaller stand-behind units starting out. If you want to own the machine and you want to buy something cheap and something that's used for a couple of $1,000, few $1,000, maybe $3,000, buy you something that you walk behind, kind of like one of the tillers that they have, a walk behind tiller. It's small. Is it going to work you to death? Yes. Are you going to be tired? Yes. But it took me an hour and a half to do that with my machine. Let's just say it took you 4 hours. I don't know about you, but even 4 hours, $1,000 in 4 hours, I mean, that's something that I would do. That's something that I would still be happy with. So, it's absolutely scalable. Absolutely scalable. Get you a small, if stump grinding is what you want to do, and you want to own your piece of equipment, get you one of the smaller units and just start tackling these jobs, these smaller jobs. Get these flower bed jobs. Y'all seen me do, y'all saw me do one of them a couple of videos ago. Well, I don't know if I videoed that one. No, I'm not sure I videoed it. I did a short on it, I think. But I mean, it was just a small flower bed job. Lady wanted me to, customer wanted me to chase roots, literally just chase the roots out of the flower bed and clean up where another stump grinder had come in there. Somebody else had come in there and didn't go as far enough as what she wanted. So we came in, we did a better job, you know. But it was a flower bed. It wasn't something where you had to have a big machine. A big machine would have been even harder, you know. Start tackling those small jobs like that. And that was another, I did that one for $300, and that took me about an hour and a half because I was in rocks, a ton of rocks. Was trying to be careful. Did that one for $300. She tipped me $50. She called me back for another job 2 weeks later that got me $250. I mean, get you a small grinder. If you don't want to, and then the other great option that you have is if you don't want to pay an upfront cost at all, start renting a machine from any of these places that I named. Look up where you can rent a stump grinder and rent it for the weekend. Stack up your jobs to where you have 2 or 3 jobs in one weekend. You know, go rent your machine, get the weekend rate, knock it out that way. Another thing, if you're having a hard time deciding how much you're going to charge, when you go to these renting centers or whatever, that's your base price. That should be your, that's going to give you an idea. You should be charging more than what it would take somebody to go and rent the machine. Because even though they go and rent it, they still have to know how to run it. They still have to devote the time to it. So if you charge somebody, say, I want to do this stump for you for $200, and they're like, well, I called and I can rent the machine for $200. You still have to go pick it up. You still have to run it. You still have to make sure that it's not damaged. You know, that's going to give you an idea. You can also go on Facebook Marketplace and you'll see what people are charging for stumps on there, and that's also going to give you an idea. Once you start getting the jobs, your customers will tell you if you're too high or too low. If you're getting tips, that's a good sign. That's a real good sign. I've lost less than a handful, maybe 3 that I know of. 3 jobs where the customer told me I found somebody that could do it cheaper. That's good. And that's up to you in each individual circumstance if you want to price match or whatever. I haven't done that, but if you're getting the majority of your jobs and then losing some, I mean, you're right where you want to be. So I'm kind of in a sweet spot for my area. It feels like if I come to do one stump, it's $175. I have a $100 minimum and then $75 for the small stumps. Once I get into jobs like that, where I have way more than 2, you know, I'm gonna knock off the minimum, and I'm just gonna do it for whatever I think the stump's worth. You know, some of those back there I did for 75, a couple of them I did for 150, and then over the 13, it all kind of averaged out to be 70 something a piece. Hour and a half, $1,000, over $1,000. So if you match stump grinding with dump trailers, trailer rentals, that's an awesome combo, guys. Awesome combo. Like I've said in the dump trailer videos, you can have your trailer rented out and you're not even there. You're not even there. So it's making you money while you're off grinding stumps, while you're off doing something else. You know, it's just a real easy thing to get into. Real easy. You don't have to be real handy. There's plenty of videos, how-to videos on all this stuff. You don't have to have like a edge on the market, you know, or you don't have to be the only one there. Like I've said several times, I'm not the only one in my spot. There are at least 3 other companies that have decades of experience. Full tree service companies with grinders, big grinders. And I'm still picking up jobs. I don't know what else to say. One thing you're going to have to do, though, that I've had to learn is you've got to be able to communicate. People that know me, I do not communicate very well. I don't like, I'm not the best in social settings. I don't really like, it sounds mean, but I don't really like talking to people. It's not because I don't enjoy a person or I don't like a person. It's just social. I'm not good in social settings. So communicating has been something I've had to get better at. Still not the best at it. Way better than I was 2 years ago because I've had to learn. I've just had to get out and do it. So you're going to have to be able to communicate. You're going to have to network with people. Call the bigger tree services in your area. I've done that before, trying to pick up jobs. You know, call contractors. Get in with a contractor for your trailer stuff. I mean, there's tons of stuff that you can do if you just set your mind to it and you tell yourself, you know what, it might be uncomfortable. There may be some risks that I have to take, but I'm going to do it, and you can do it. And you can do it on a budget. Like I said, don't buy anything up front. Rent your stuff. Rent your stump grinder. Pack all your jobs into one day. Knock all your jobs out. And just slowly grow your business. Grow your side hustle. Build up your clientele. You know, your customer base. And that's it. That's it. So, I think I've covered everything. Like I said, if you have questions about it, ask me down in the comments. $100 minimum, $75 for a small stump. It goes up from there. $100 for a medium stump. And like I said, I try not to do the big ones. I got turned down the other day, quoted a stump for $450. It's a decent sized stump. It wasn't massive, but it was bigger than I wanted to do, and they turned it down. And I was okay with that because I didn't want to stand there for 4 hours grinding on it. So I hope I've helped out. I'm trying to encourage y'all. I mean, that's what ultimately helped me whenever I was trying to decide what I wanted to do when I left shift work, was just listening to guys on YouTube tell me their stories and just being encouraging, you know. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to encourage y'all that if you're trying to start a side hustle, trying to make something big, you know, this is something great to get into. It's scalable. It doesn't have to cost you a bunch up front, and pays really well. So, last stump job for Yellowhammer Yard Services. Last stump job, last stump video for Angry Beaver Outdoors. You know, Lord willing, from here on out, I just want to do outdoor stuff. I want it to involve my kids. You know, I'm not selling this stuff because it's not profitable. I want to be able to include my kids. I've got to get better as a dad. I mean, I've got to do better. And the way I get better is by spending time with my kids, including them in my day. And if I can build YouTube to do that, if I can take my kids fishing, video that, which I'm not the best fisherman or whatever, and it would take a lot of patience for me to take my kids fishing. I've done it before. It requires a lot of patience. But that aside, I want to do that. With stump grinding, I can't really take my kids with me. Running dump trailers, they get really bored riding with me. I want to be able to start focusing my YouTube on family stuff, outdoor stuff, and Lord willing, grow it from here. We are, as of today, like in the 870s, I think, as far as subscribers. Never would have even thought that I made it this far, but I cannot wait for the day that I hit 1,000. That's going to be such a confidence booster for me. Yeah. So, y'all stick around. Good things coming. This is the end of an era, the end of one chapter, but Lord willing, great things ahead. Y'all stick around. I appreciate y'all hanging with me so far. We'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all be good.